Now, find a comfortable way to sit with your animals. Mine's going to probably stay away from me. And I am sitting on a little bit of a pillow today just to give my hips. So whenever you feel your hips are tight anytime, you can always start on a pillow and then end without the pillow, just to elevate them a little bit. So that's what I'm doing here, just getting that little bit of support for my hips. So let's go ahead and just close our eyes and tuck the chin down and lift the back of the head. Let's do some normal breathing in and out through the nose. So let's just take a few moments here to breathe at our own pace. And just noticing what our natural breath is and what the capacity is of our lungs to expand front to back. And exhaling slowly at our own pace. And again, noticing when we breathe in the capacity of our lungs to move side to side, like an accordion. And the same thing as we're breathing in, what our capacity is to fill the lungs from the bottom to the top of the rib cage or the lungs. And exhaling slowly. Again, just letting it be as natural as possible. And then noticing that when we really take a full breath, we're moving the lungs front to back, side to side, and top to bottom. And when we exhale, it compresses front to back, side to side, and top to bottom. We'll let the chin hang down just a little bit more so that the back of our neck is now lengthening. And we'll take in another breath and then slowly start to lift the head up as you open your eyes. And just let your eyes blink a few times. We're going to go into half circle today. So we're going to start with taking the head to the left and then just very slowly drawing a circle around and over to the right and then back up and to the right. And just noticing any tension in our neck. And we'll do that just one more time in each direction. I know, Timmy. And back up. And the other way. Funny. You want to teach it? And then back to center. And then return the head and just rotate, look over the right shoulder. And then look over the left shoulder. And just keeping the head up. Let's do 2 more in each direction. And every time you turn the head, you'll notice you'll feel yourself kind of lifting a little more from the crown, like you have a golden thread coming out the crown of the head. And one more time each. That's it. Great. Okay, now go ahead and take both arms, stretch them all the way up. And bring the hands to the heart center and together. And let's do that again. Inhale and reach the arms back a little bit. Circle sweep up. And then matching our breath with our movements. So we want to start with some mobility work, reaching all the way up. Bring the hands together. And just moving a little slow motion. One more time. Clasp the fingers together, push the arms forward, and crack the knuckles and reach all the way up. And again, I want to get a little bit more extension in the upper spine, and then flex the spine like we've been practicing and pull the back towards the back wall, and then lift up and move the chest towards the camera. And we'll do that 3 more times. Let your head drop down, push the arms forward at the same time. And do 2 more of those. Breathe in real deep. Then the exhale through the nose or the mouth. Really just a matter of comfort. Last one, and you're gonna stay up here. Bring the hands behind the head. And let's get that neck stretch one more time. Bring the elbows together and pull gently forward. Lift up, open. Let's squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the chest. Exhale down. And inhale, open. So it doesn't seem sometimes like you're doing a lot when you're doing these little movements, but they're really, really important for keeping the mobility of our spine. Remember, you are as young as your spine is. Right? Last one, elbows forward, chin down. Give it a little stretch and then open and release the arms. Excellent. Let's go ahead and uncross our legs and come to the hands and the knees. Hey, Tammy. We're going to spread those fingertips apart and go ahead and tuck your toes under. And we're going to lift into cat stretch 4 times. And extend the spine. And round it up. And inhale. Try a few of those with your eyes closed. Exhale, pull in and up through the navel center. And one more time, just like that. Now we're going to release the top of the feet and sit the hips back towards the heels and reach out towards your kitty's legs, head down. Hi, Timmy. He's giving me one look. Don't touch my foot. Head down. Apparently they don't like that. And we'll take one more breath here. Good. And then go ahead and come up back to the hands and the knees. And then what I want to do today is I want to have you circle around with your hips. Can you see this? So I'm going to go forward, right, to my hands. And then, yep, and then back. And just kind of, and just kind of do this little swirling. We haven't done this one in a while. We do about 4, and then we'll switch directions. Goodbye, Timmy. And 4 in the other direction. And he's going to drink my water now. Go ahead. Enjoy. And around. You can't see it, but that's his. Apparently now it's his water. Thank you. Great job. Okay, now come back to center. Tuck your toes under again and press up into the downward facing dog. And then we're going to press just the left heel down, but instead of pumping the heels, let's just start with the left and hold it for a few breaths. Shake the head. And then switch and hold the right heel down and shake the head. Good. And then now go ahead and pump the heels a little bit. And one more on each side. We'll come back to that in a minute. Press both heels towards the ground. And stretch the arms a little straighter. And one more breath. And lower back to the knees. Release the tops of the feet to the ground. And now we're going to take the hands a little bit closer and just let our head rest right on our hands here. And then rock a little pandiculation, right and left in child's pose. So any of our forward bends are very soothing. They're called regressive poses because they bring us back, into a relaxed state. So they're good for calming the nervous system down a little bit. Then we're going to swing the legs around and come forward. I'm going to sit sideways. I really like that water, huh? Okay. And we're sitting up straight on. Can you see that? Put your feet there, Tim. Okay. So go ahead and flex your heels. I'm going to tell you that I was in at an outdoor thing last night, so my feet are very dirty. Just so when you watch the tape, they like, why are her feet so dirty? A lot of red dirt here. All right. So this one, you hold your arms up. It's called a spine stretch, and you're sitting up. Your hands are here. You take a breath in, flex the heels pretty firm so that the front of the shins and the quadriceps, the front thighs, you want to feel them firm up pretty well. Take a breath in, and you're going to shift your spine back for a little bit there, and then stretch your fingertips past your toes. Look down towards the knees. And this is a mobilization exercise. So you roll your spine back up and keep your arms straight. Yeah. We'll just do about 4 more. Take a breath in. Exhale, reach the spine back, and then stretch past your toes. Okay. And then we're going to come back up. And we're going to do a little more action on it. Take a breath in. Exhale, stretch your spine back. And when you lean forward, you're going to pulse 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then come all the way up. And we'll do that one more time. Take a breath in. Exhale, pull back. Take a breath in. Exhale, push forward. 1. You see how on this last one, you get a really good range of motion. And relax your arms down to your side. Ooh, clasp them behind you. And we'll go into chicken wing. Elbows come forward, back, straighten the arms. 4 times. This one's coming back to us also. Elbows forward. Can you see that? And then elbows back. 2 more times. Let's keep the head forward on this one. And try to keep your spine as straight as you can. And believe it or not, for a lot of people, you may have to put the pillow back underneath your butt to keep your back straight up. Now from here, go ahead and straighten the arms. 1 more time, lift. And then lean your head forward, stretch your arms up to the ceiling. And we're going to take 3 breaths here, bringing the head down. And I do want to flex forward. Yeah. And then I'm going to come out of it after the 3rd breath and release the arms. Cross your left leg over your right. And now point your toes. Yes. And we're going to reach out towards that foot and let our head drop down. I know, it feels kind of nice, huh? Good. Roll back up. And then go ahead and bring that leg in and right next to the other leg. Good. And flex the heels. And go ahead and either wrap your leg here or put it up like that. I'm going to wrap it today. And I want to reach up. And the first thing I want to do is get that rotation. Can you see that? Great. Now bring your hand behind you and place it to the floor as you turn the head. Now on this one, I want to pull the leg into the stomach and all the internal organs. So it's like a squeezing of the organs, trying to get some relief or balance of digestion, depending on what your goal is. So let's take about 1 more breath here. 2 more is fine. Should feel really nice. Okay, transition here, unwind yourself. You're going to pick up that leg and hold it and cradle the baby. Yeah, we cradle it a little bit. So that was called obviously cradle a baby. Good. And then go ahead and slide the leg out. Now with a flat back, so now we're going to keep the hips squared off. Reach for your toes before we go to the other side if you can. So you're either going to reach out for your toes or hold the shins and let your head drop forward. And now we're going to take about 5 breaths. Let your eyelids drop down. And let's pandiculate a little bit. And we got about 3 more deep breaths here. Jaw relaxed. Notice if you're clenching on one side. Lengthen the spine as you come up. And now we're going to start by pointing our toes and now cross the right leg over. So keeping that position, I want to reach out towards the foot and let my head come down. And this part's a little passive. So I'm just doing a little check-in with my spine. And then I'm going to slide that leg up and cross it over. And of course, you don't have to cross it over, but it's nice. Again, it's that way to squeeze the organs. So you're either here or wrapping. Don't care. Your choice. And then I want to stretch the arm up first. Reach as high as I can. So just stay there and give it a really good reach and rotate from here and look all the way over your shoulder. And again, I want to get the internal organs to kind of wring out like a big washcloth. And now we're going to stay in this position and just take some deep breaths. Twisting and lengthening at the same time. Okay, one more breath. Exhale, and we're going to come out of it by turning the head, shoulders, and cradling our baby. Just our leg. Okay. So let's continue on here. This time, and straighten the legs out. I'm just going to move up a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of room. Reach the arms out in front of you. From staff, we're going to roll all the way down. And do a little bit of abdominal work first. Arms reach over the head. So think Pilates now. Take a breath in. Lift the arms, lift the head, tuck the chin. Look to your toes. Curl all the way up. Oh. It's okay. That's the idea. And then raise your arms up and we're going to flex the heels. All right. Did I surprise you on that one? Arms parallel with the legs. And I'm slowly coming down. I want to use all of my core muscles. Arms reach overhead. Take a breath. Now when I come up, I don't want to bounce up, but you may have to bounce a little bit to get up. Flex the heels and reach up. Good, that was a good one. Okay. All right, point the toes, reach out. We're going to do quite a few of these. So by the time, by the time we do the last one, you should feel like you're working through those abs. Head forward, round up. Flex the heels and raise up. See how it's, I think it was a little more flowing movements. And point, look down at your knees. Try to put each part of your spine to the ground. Reach overhead. Inhale. Head, neck, shoulders, arms, abdominals. Flex the heels, raise up. And we're going to do 4 more. All right. Point the toes. I know this is called a roll. It's called a roll up when you're coming up this way. Flex the heel. Well, it's called a roll down when you're going in the other direction. Okay, so to be rolling down here, 1, 2, 3 more. Okay, and ooh, that's better. Oh, you're getting it. All right, twice more. So again, a lot of core, right? You feel that. 2 more times. Just do your best. Well, I know 1 more in each direction. Last time. And then we're once again going to grab onto the toes, ankles, or the shins. And lay forward for 5 breaths with gentle rocking. Now I'm going to exaggerate so you can see how I'm almost lifting my hips off the ground a little bit. Close your eyes and just let your whole body just fall forward. Doesn't that feel nice? The relief for the back. All right, when you get to the 5th breath, you're sitting up. Now we're going to bend our knees. So you want about fist distance. So if you take your fist and put it between your knees, that's almost always where you want to be, either 1 fist or 2 apart, depending on how long your legs are. Now your fingertips in this one are going to either turn down a little bit or be forward. You want to press up into a tabletop. Tuck the chin. And we're going to come back down, breathe in. And then breathe out. We're going to do 4, and then we're going to hold. Reverse tabletop. Now you want to watch the shoulders on this one, okay? And just very mellow, but yet it's like a quiet power in this kind of movement. One more time. And when we get to the next one, just stay at the top here. Challenge yourself to hold the hips up, tucking the chin, looking towards your belly button. And we're going to take 5 deep breaths. Really push your feet down and squeeze the buttocks. Look down at your hips. And one more breath. Lower the hips. Excellent. And I'm just going to turn to face you. We're going to take the legs into a stretch. So can you see that well enough? So you can have your toes pointed or flexed on this one. So I'm just going to say right for the first one, just where are you comfortable? Is it more comfortable to have your toes pointed or even relaxed is fine, okay? Arms go straight up. Good. And we'll start with a lateral movement. So we're going to take the right hand, left hand down and right hand over to the side. And then we'll look up and open the chest. Good. And then go ahead and switch over. Take the hand down. So think, let's see, graceful movement here. Open the chest. That's it. And one more time on each side with the range of motion here. So first is sideways, right? And usually we're too far forward, so you want to push your hand down, open the chest, look up. And then we do that same range one more time in each direction. Ooh. And open. Isn't that nice? A nice lateral movement there. Okay. Now take both hands to the floor, flex your heels, and just slowly start walking your hands out. Go as far forward as you can. Now, you could also grab your pillow and just prop yourself. I'll show you this one. And then let your head come down. We're going to pull up the toes. Let the head lay down as low as it can. And then we're going to close our eyes on this one. And I want to see just a little gentle rocking. And then what you're trying to do is you're searching for areas of tension, right? You're searching for tightness, limitations, but without pushing through the limitations, but just kind of going to the edge and taking a breath and then leaning into it a little bit more. So we'll do that for another 3 breaths. So like I said, we're going to hold these positions a little bit today. We call it, what do they call it? Finding the edge, playing the edge. Okay. Playing the edge. So once you're comfortable there, take a breath in, lean away just a little bit. And then on the last couple of breaths, stretch out a little bit more. See if you can take your head as close to the floor as you can. Now feel nice. Oh. And then we'll gradually walk ourselves up. Good. Okay, so are you good in this position? Yeah. Okay, we're going to slide the hand to the ankle and point. So if you can, and if you can't reach the ankle, you just have your hand on the floor is fine. So we're going to go back to the side position that we started in, but now we're turning towards the ankle. And I want to reach down and stretch over as far as I'm comfortable yet. And then just kind of look up at your armpits. Yeah. And then we stay there for about 3 or 4 more breaths. So you start thinking about holding it, but reaching and lengthening as well. And just notice how nice it feels to do that movement. So from that position, take 1 more breath, keep reaching. And you'll come up. And then put your hands down to your shins or thighs and rotate your head 4 times, left and right. And you'll pretty much notice one side a little bit different than the other right away. So we're going to stay in point. And then we'll slide over to the other side, reaching either for the ankle or the floor. So I'll show the modification on the second one. I want to rotate from my rib cage and then really reach. So I do want to look towards my armpit. Okay, and then of course you can reach lower, right? And then we'll take another 3 or 4 breaths. Let your eyes close if you want. Oh, yeah. So you want to feel the pleasure of the move, of the breath. And let's take 1 more of those. Exhale, come back up, hands to the thighs. And then 4 times we're going to stretch right to left, and you'll automatically notice, right, a little more range of motion in our neck. So that's why I always talk about the side of our waist and our hips affecting the jaw and the neck. That's the way it goes. Flex the heels. Okay, final move here. Grabbing hold, if we can, of our big toes. And a lot of people can't, so it's okay. You can't. Hands on the shin or on the floor. But we're going to lean left and right 4 times. And gradually start inching our way down towards the floor as we go down. By the time you get to the 4th one, you're holding the toes and you're letting your head come down towards the floor. There's going to be a little bit of flexion. You're going to feel a little bit of rounded spine in the upper spine. Yep. And now firm up the front muscles of your thighs, like your kneecap. So you don't want your kneecaps to move. I want to firm up the legs. Last deep breath here. About 4 breaths is fine. And then push yourself up. Ooh. And then, yeah. And then you're going to take the legs in, shake them out. I'm going to turn sideways again in different angles. You can see. And then just go ahead and shake them out. And wiggle your toes. Good. Now you're going to take your hands like this, thumb over thumb and fingers together tight. Can you see that? Like a karate chop, judo chop. Remember judo chops? All right. Now this one is a Thai massage. You open the palm of the hand, but keep the fingers. You can do this. Okay. So just move your hands like this. Yeah. And then go down to the front of your thigh. And gently, both legs, and just chop, chop. You hear that sound? Yeah, so just gently chop, 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 chop across the front of my legs. And that, and then a little bit around the hip. And shake out the wrists. Good. Okay, now keeping the legs straight in front of you, we're going to extend the left arm up over the head. I'm going to turn a little bit if I need to. Touch your shoulder blade. Take the other hand, rotate it in, and see if you can clasp your fingers. Oh, and push your head against your hands. And then we're doing the best we can to sit up as straight as possible. And let's take about 3 breaths. Look straight ahead there. Pull up the toes. And then lean to the left. And lean to the right a couple times. Okay, so that's the shoulder joint, internal shoulder muscles, rotator cuff, and external shoulder muscles as well. All right, let the arms come up. Switch sides. Start with the arm to the ceiling. I know. So wait till you go to the other side. We'll see what side is better. Okay. Usually I have a pretty good range on both sides, but today I'm a little tighter. And every day, right, is a little bit different. So in this case, I might have to wiggle into a little bit. I don't want to force it, but I do want to hold it and take about 3 breaths here. Chest up, lower belly in, pelvic floor lifted. So there's a lot of other things going on. It may look like we're just sitting here, but we're not, right? And then release the hands. Ooh. And roll the shoulders. Excellent. Slide away. Watch out for your props there. And we're rolling down, and I want to do a whole leg sequence. So let's extend the left leg out to the floor. Yeah. And then you can hold the back of the knee here and straighten the right leg up. Oh, yeah. And let's circle. So let's do many, many circles in both directions. Say hi to your toes all the way down there or up there in this case. So anytime we can raise our legs up, that's going to help with fluid retention, right? And any kind of swelling that we might get in our lower legs, which does happen, especially more for women as we get a little bit older. The veins don't always work. So you can do a little bit of lymphatic. So meaning just gently pull the, yeah, about 4 or 5 times, like you're pulling up your socks. And just do that across the leg. Perfect. And then bend your knee and hold the kneecap and lift your head to the knee. Excellent. And then release. And then just take your other leg, cross it a little bit, and we're going to adjust our hips and go into a nice spine twist. So you cross that leg over. I don't know if you can see this well enough, but yeah, I want to put that leg to the floor. And a couple of options here. I'm going to keep my head like this, but you're going to turn your head to the side, and I'm just going to give it a little look. Yeah. And if you're comfortable with this, go ahead and try and straighten your leg and reach out for your big toe or your ankle. And just move your ankle a little bit. Yeah. And let's turn our head away. So another, right, digestive balancer here. And spine twist. One more breath. And we're going to bend that knee back in. Come back to the center and hug both knees and grab hold of them and lift the head up as we gently rock side to side. Is that a nice little sequence or what? Head goes back down. So I call this a little slow flow. Extend the right leg out all the way, try to get it to touch the floor, and then straighten the other leg. Hand behind the thigh. And if your leg doesn't hit the floor, go ahead and bend it up like that, okay? Great. Now circle, circle, circle. Take those breaths as needed. And just get reacquainted with your foot. Hello, foot. Just move it in all different directions. And straighten it up as much as you can. And take one more breath here as you pull the leg in. You want to get it as close to your body as you can. And now we bend the knee and pull it close to us as we now lift the nose up and reach towards that leg. Okay, We'll let the head come down, adjust your hips, and then go right into our spinal twist. Now I'm limited by the wall here, so I'm going to keep my knee bent, but you can straighten the top leg and grab your toe, or make any little adjustments. And let's take another 3 or 4 breaths here. Let your eyelids close. You should feel a really calming, relaxing sensation start to come over your body. So every time you breathe out, it feels like I'm just releasing into the mat. Okay, one more deep breath here. A little rocking is good. Okay, and then unwind yourself. And we once again pull both knees in, but you're going to start to open them out, holding the kneecaps. We're circling the legs together, pulling them towards us, opening them, and circling. So this will be about 4 in each direction. Okay. That's it. And then from there, we circle the other way. So you want to pull them in together and out. And I do want to let my spine, my lower back move a little bit on this one. There should be a little bit of motion there in the whole body. Yes. Okay, one more. All right, and then take the legs up to tabletop. Place your hands behind your head and curl up and hold. So I want to really curl up with my abs and not my neck. And then I'm going to turn, I'm going to hold. And slowly from side to side, breathe in and out. And I'm rotating from side to side as I am reaching the legs and working through my abs, right? And we're going to do 4 more in each leg. And you should definitely feel these in your side waist muscles and all through the abs. 2 more in each leg. Last one. And both knees come back to the chest, head down. And pull them towards us. Ooh. Feet go to the floor. So again, remember how we did like fist distance between the knees? So a little bit more than fist distance apart with the knees. We're going to go into spinal articulation, into bridge, palms down into the floor, and then rolling down. Now there's 100 ways that you could practice this, but for today, we're going to breathe in through the nose on the lift. And then exhale through the nose today on the rolling down. So we're just matching the movement and the breath. Inhale up. And we're going to do about 10 of these. So just keep a nice flow going. And even feel free to close your eyes. And just let the weight of your eyeballs sink into the sockets a little bit. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out and lift. Do about 4 more. Breathe in, lift. Let your eyelids relax. Let your jaw relax. Teeth separated. The less tension, right? The more circulation, right? The more tension, it's like a kink in the garden hose. So we've got 1 more here. And now go ahead and stay up on the last one. Now we are going to create a little more tension. Excuse me. And reach the hands together, clasp them underneath your body. And you see, I'm going to exaggerate this so you can see I really am trying to, press. Now, if you look over, you see my ankle knee in alignment. My knees are neither not together or separated.
Tail tuck, chin to the collarbone. And this will be the first of 2 thyroid, actually 3 for the thyroid and the neck. So we're going to stay here for another 4 breaths. Close your eyes. And you're trying to create a little bit of circulation, a little bit of tension in the neck here. Okay, 1 more breath. That's part 1. Release the hands first, and then vertebra by vertebra, roll the spine down. Grab the legs and grab the big toes, reaching on the inside for happy baby. And again, gentle rocking. Just let your eyelids relax. And again, the jaw. Those are areas that get tense unconsciously. A lot of unconscious jaw clenching and eye squinting and eye movements and blinking and things like that. I know Kathy would say blinking, there's something to blinking in Chinese medicine, but I can't remember what it is. Okay, legs straight up. So now the next thyroid move, again, we're going to try and create a dam. So imagine here's like the kink in the hose. I want to do that and try to get the blood to go from the feet to my neck. So first thing I do is if I have any back problems, I'm just going to elevate my hips with my hands. If I don't have any issues, I want to prop up into half or full shoulder stand and use my hands to support the back. Now we're not bringing the legs over because I want to have them high. So look up at your toes, tuck the chin into the collarbones. Yep, and I want to create that kink in my garden hose right at the neck so that as much blood is going to flow into the thyroid as possible. And basically like give it a bath.
That's a good trick. I didn't realize it was just, it brings it all to the thyroid.
Yeah, so all of your shoulder stands, anything where you're doing, see how we're tucking a little bit, or bridges, designed specifically to regulate the throat chakra. But of course, before they knew about glands, right, thousands of years ago, they just called them chakras for balancing energy in the throat. But now we know, of course, that it's a gland that we're regulating. So here's the fun part, or they're all fun parts. If you can, and it doesn't hurt your back, go ahead and bring your legs over into plow. So it's a pretty advanced movement here. And then place your hands to the ground.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You have to watch the neck on that one. Okay, now from here, we're going to slowly come out of it. Point your toes and start rolling your spine. And then I have my little special way. I'm going to have you come up like this. Then bring your elbows down. Okay, so that was the second one. Now the third part is to go into the fish pose. You can have you can have your knees bent or straight. I'm going to straighten mine out just so you can see it. And then what I do now is after having everything dammed up in the neck, in the throat, I want to let that circulation go to my head. So now I let the head go back, but of course you can watch your neck. And traditionally, you let the top of your head hit the floor. It's up to you. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let my head go back. And so it created the dam, right? And now I'm going to let that blood flow to my brain, basically, or the crown chakra and the third eye.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, the pituitary gland between in the brain and the pineal gland in the brain. And then you slowly bring the head up. So you do that for about a minute. And then we lay all the way down. And then I like to do some neck releases. So we're going to just pull a gentle stretch here. And then let the head relax. Good job. All right. Windshield wiper your legs.
Oh, it's cool.
Isn't that fun? Yeah. And go ahead from side to side. And then we'll just relax for a few breaths. So those are the 3 things that you would do. And usually you do those at the end, like all the way before you do your relaxation. Aha. The shoulder stand or the bridge and fish. So let's find our way all the way out. And have one hand on the abdomen, the other hand towards the chest or the collarbones, wherever that's comfortable. And let's let our eyelids close. And focus on breathing in and out through our nose today. And in no particular way, allow yourself to start relaxing down into the mat. And feel the connection of your hands to your belly and chest. And body scanning from head to toe and toe to head. And letting go of any last bits of tension or tightness. And natural breathing. Whenever we notice our mind wandering to the past or the future, just come back to your breath. Back to the present. And in your own way, thank your body. Just remembering how fortunate we are to have a body that works and that we can be here together today. Allow your toes to wiggle. Tap your fingertips and gently tap your thymus by just using the knuckle of the hand right on the breastbone and on the sides of the collarbones for your kidney points, which are up at the upper collarbones, and your thymus in the in the chest. And then you'll open your eyes and use your fingertips and gently just push the energy up the neck towards your jaw. Very lightly, just getting the circulation back there. And then with your fingertips, just tap your jaw like a drumming on the side of the jaw. So it's just a tap, 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 tap. And around the face and cheeks, around the nose and the forehead, and around the eyes. And back down, open the jaw and tap, 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 the chin, around the lips. And one more time around the eyes. Jaw. And shake out the wrists as you stretch the arms up. Deep breath. Let out a yawn. Let's do that again, deep breath. Yawn. And roll to one side. And sit up. And find your way all the way up. And mahalo. Aloha. Namaste.